In this video, you're going to learn 5 things that worship leaders need to do before you lead worship at your Christmas service. Coming up. Hey there, my name's Spencer from leadingworshipwell.com, your daily dose of practical worship leading tips. If you want to find those tips, head over to Instagram or Facebook at Leading Worship Well, where I'm posting new worship leading tips every single day. But you're here on YouTube, so go ahead, hit the subscribe button down below, and let's get into it, because today we're talking about what you need to do before your Christmas service. And as of this video coming out, your Christmas services are coming up really soon. Maybe even already started them. Some people have Christmas services on the Saturday before Christmas. So whatever it is, you're getting prepared for your Christmas service right now. And I want to make sure that you don't miss out on these 5 things, because these 5 things are going to help you lead worship well during your Christmas services. And they're pretty quick, so you just need to know them, and they will improve your Christmas worship leading. So let's get into them. First thing you need to do is to sit down and read through the Christmas story. It's not that long. I know that you probably think you already know it, and you probably do know the Christmas story. It's a common story, but I'm telling you, there's so much benefit in just reading it again and being in awe of it again, because that's the story that we get to tell as we lead worship whenever your Christmas services are. Like, this is the story that we're carrying with us. So we shouldn't just be assuming that we know it, but we should be refreshing ourselves and looking for the wonder in the story again. So open up to Luke and read the Christmas story again. Set your mind right to lead Christmas worship this season. And like I said, it doesn't take long, but you're going to draw so much from just that simple act of obedience, of being like, okay, this is the story that I'm carrying in these moments that lie ahead of me. So I'm going to be obedient to studying it, to reading it again, to reflecting on it, because the Word of God is living and active. And maybe you're going to discover something new and exciting, some new insight that you can bring to your church. Or maybe it won't be a new insight, and it's just, this is something that I remembered that I knew from before, but now God has put it in front of me to highlight for my church. So please read through the Christmas story before you lead worship. The second thing you need to do is to ask yourself the question, how are you going to engage people who only come to church once a year? Because this week, whenever you have your Christmas services, there are going to be people there who, this is the only time of year that they come to church. And you can do 2 things. You can either choose to ignore them, or you can choose to try to include them the best that you can in your gathering, and maybe challenge them to step a little bit deeper in their faith, and maybe even come on a more regular basis. So wrestle with that question. Ask yourself, how am I going to engage the people who only come once a year or twice a year? Maybe they come on Christmas and Easter, but that's the opportunity that we have this season. There's so many people who would never come to church on a regular basis, but they will be here during Christmas because that's just what they do. They think it's the right thing, and it is the right thing. So reaffirm that. Maybe just lead with them in mind. Like, come with the understanding that not everybody knows why you're doing what you're doing. They're not used to the routine that you've set in place that everybody else who comes to church every Sunday already knows about. So take time to explain things a little bit more in depth. And I'm going to have a little bit more training for you at the end of this video, a resource that'll help you out. So stick around until the end of the video. The third thing you should do before you lead worship during your Christmas worship services is thank your team. It's so easy to forget to thank our team because there's a million different things going on during the Christmas season. There's so many gatherings to plan for. There's so many special elements that you're trying to incorporate. You've just got a lot going on, not to mention stuff in your personal life too, where you're trying to get gifts for people and all of that stuff. So it's so easy to forget to thank your worship team. So right now, pull your phone out and type up just a short little text message. It could be something as simple as, hey, worship team, I'm so thankful for you this Christmas season and all of the extra work that you put in to help people experience Jesus and the Christmas story at insert your church name here. Once again, thanks so much. I can't wait to serve alongside you this Christmas season during our Christmas services or whatever. Just type something up like that, and then You can schedule it. I love to schedule text messages on my phone to go out at a future date, or you can just send it right now because it's that close to Christmas. So don't neglect to thank your team, because that's going to make them all the more excited to serve during your Christmas services, and they're going to feel valued and appreciated and want to help again next year. The fourth thing you should do before you lead worship during your Christmas worship services is to worship through your set list. Listen, I know these Christmas songs are crazy. They've got a million chords, and you've probably spent the last few weeks trying to just learn how to play these songs because they're kind of complex. But I want to challenge you to take that a step further, and instead of just musically practicing your worship set list, I want you to now take a moment, hopefully you know your songs pretty well at this point, and just worship through the set list. Like from beginning to end, no stopping, just worship through your set list and experience what people are going to experience during your Christmas service. And that's going to help you get in the mindset of like, this is the journey that I'm leading people on this Christmas season musically. But it's also going to help you identify spots where maybe you need to work a little bit more on your transitions, or maybe a thought pops into your head and God has given you something that He wants you to share with your church. So before you lead worship this Christmas, worship through your set list. Finally, number 5 is rest. Don't forget to rest. I know Christmas is here and you're like, I gotta push through, I gotta keep going, and then I'll rest. Well, I'm telling you, today is Friday. I don't know when you take your Sabbath, but if it's on Friday, take it today. If it's on Saturday, take it tomorrow. But just get that rest in, because a well-rested leader is a leader who is able to lead well. I still haven't come up with a pithy saying for that. I'll work on that. I'm still thinking about one. But you need to be rested, because that's going to help you lead better. Like, don't come into your Christmas services completely exhausted from all of the million things that you had to do. You're going to have plenty of time to get them done. I know it's stressful right now, but just making the commitment to rest will pay massive dividends in your leadership, in your sanity, in your joyfulness, and just your overall attitude on how you lead this Christmas season. So please, in the next day, 2 days, take a day off. It's going to be okay. You've got this. Like, if you are concerned that, man, I don't have everything done and I need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, you're way further ahead than you think you are, because you care and you really want to get it done. So I'm telling you, you are prepared. Maybe you need to do a little bit more, but don't neglect rest this Christmas season. I know this video was a little bit shorter than normal today, but I also know that you're in the heart of the Christmas season right now and you've got a million things to do. So I just wanted to give you these 5 quick things to focus on as you finish up leading well this Christmas season. And I also put together a free 7-day devotional called 7 Days to Leading Christmas Worship Well. I understand that there aren't 7 days left until Christmas, but you could work through a couple of these devotionals every day leading up to that final day when Christmas comes and you have your Christmas services. So if you want to check that out, there's still time. It's still available. You can check it out in the link in the description below. But thanks so much for joining me today. Once again, my name is Spencer Cormany from leadingworshipwell.com. I hope you have an amazing Christmas. It's going to be awesome. You're so prepared. I know you've been putting in the work because you care about the people of your church. So have an amazing Christmas, Merry Christmas, and keep leading worship well.